Challenger.
Hey, Frog Prince Runner here, and thank you for dropping by. So far, the pandemic have caused more than 4.9 million deaths, with over 7,000 deaths every day. During this global catastrophe, how vile and low-life does one have to be to spread propaganda? Well, sadly, we're seeing many people peddling some horrific nonsense, and it is really up to all of us to fight this misinformation, not only for ourselves, but for generations to come. Before I begin, a quick notice for YouTube. This is a debunk video of an anti-vaxxer propaganda content. Due to the nature of the beast, I have to talk about the lies presented in the original video to be able to dissect it and explain why it is wrong. Please understand that I'm a proponent of vaccine. I have taken it, my mom has taken it, even my little one has a shot. Hopefully there is no medical misinformation in this video. With that disclaimer out of the way, I came across this video as it is making its round via Telegraph and anti-vaxxer groups. They even titled it as, "This is a must-watch, very short and eye-opening video." Technically, I am biased, as I already had wondered about its veracity before even watching it. And dear oh dear, I was not wrong. So let's watch.
Okay, so I am a natural doctor and I have 1,600 patients. Many are vaccinated, just to give you a little bit of backstory about my credibility.
Hold on, what is a natural doctor? I'm often apprehensive when there is a qualifier before the word doctor, unless of course is the word specialized. Now apparently, these people are also called neuropathic doctors or doctors of neuropathic medicine, which is a form of alternative medicine. It employs an array of pseudoscientific practices branded as natural, non-invasive or promoting self-healing. So translating to quackery. Anyone being a natural doctor has zero credibility. And you know what they call alternative medicine that's been proved to work? Medicine.
What I've seen so far and what I've learned is all information from physicians, medical physicians, natural physicians, and also immunization of virology doctors, things like that, and then also nurses. So what I'm about to share with you is the first vaccine, the second vaccine, and then the boosters and what it does to your body.
Let's remember the group she mentioned that she learned all this information from. And soon we will see that most has no direct connection to the lies presented.
The first vaccine, as it goes into your body, it has a small amount of saline and then a bunch of ingredients that are very catastrophic to your cellular system.
What a bunch of bullshit. I'm quite fond of the phrase, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, which was made popular by Carl Sagan. And this woman is making some extremely extraordinary claims. Well, note that she doesn't say that the vaccine contains saline, but says that when the vaccine goes into your body. That is because Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, for example, has to be diluted with 1.8 milliliter of 0.9% sodium chloride or preservative-free normal saline. Note that the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson Covid-19 vaccines don't require mixing with saline. Then she also added ingredients that are very catastrophic to your cellular system while showing a poison vial on the video. Now, apart from the fact that we know exactly what ingredients are in every Covid-19 vaccine, or the fact that vaccine manufacturing are constantly monitored, if someone honestly knows which ingredients that are very catastrophic and can prove it, why wouldn't they do the world a massive favor and actually name each and every one of them? I mean, if you know for a fact that each apple seed have the potential to release 0.6 milligram of hydrogen cyanide per gram, you state that fact, right? You wouldn't la-di-da by just saying there is a poison, would you?
What that does to your immune system, which is your bone marrow, your thymus gland, your spleen, and all other systems associated with your immune system, it decreases the ability to produce white blood cells by 50% from your first vaccine. Then 8 weeks later, which is white blood cell reproductive system, so your ability to make another generation of white blood cells is 8 weeks. That's why they set it up 8 weeks later, to hit it again. So you hit the white blood cell ability while it's down.
Then 8 weeks later, which is white blood cell reproductive system, is another blatant lie. First of all, it is not called reproductive system, but it's called regeneration. But as she's a natural doctor, I guess we can ignore that. But what we can't ignore is this bullshit. The bone marrow produces stem cells, the building blocks that the body uses to make the different blood cells, red cells, white cells, and platelets. Red blood cells are the ones that carry fresh oxygen throughout the body and will circulate through your body for 120 days. White blood cells are the ones that help the body fight infection, which can have a lifespan anywhere from a few hours to a few days, and platelets, which help your body form clots to stop bleeding, take 10 days to regenerate. Now, as some white blood cells have a short life of 1 to 3 days, your bone marrow is always making them. Some cells even have a lifespan that is over years. There is no 8-week connection to WBC. On a different note, if you're a blood donor, your body will replace the blood volumes or plasma within 48 hours. It will take 4 to 8 weeks for your body to completely replace the red blood cells you donated. But obviously the woman is not talking about RBC. Couple of more things to point out. Pfizer Biotech recommends interval of 21 days after dose 1. However, if it's not possible to follow the recommended interval, one may schedule the second dose of the Pfizer Covid-19 vaccine for administration up to 6 weeks after the first dose. For Moderna, the interval is 28 days. This woman's 8-week number is probably because on 14th of May 2021, Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization, JCVI, recommended a minimum interval of 8 weeks, reducing it from 12 weeks. The Green Book, which provides health professionals with the latest information on vaccinations, states that consistent interval should be used for all vaccines to avoid confusion and simplify booking. In addition, it says this interval will help to ensure a good balance between achieving rapid and long-lasting protection. Then she adds, it decreases the ability to produce white blood cell by 50%. Well, the only other thing I have to say is citation needed. Again, one can make any claim. I can claim that watching my videos would make you smarter, but then I would actually have to back that statement with actual evidence. Without that, it is just substantiated claim.
So now what you do is now they decrease the saline in the second one, and they increase the harmful ingredients. So now you have a shift in the ingredients. So they decrease the saline and increase. So now there's a shift. And then what they do is that second dose attacks your ability to make white blood cells by an additional 25%. So now you only have a white blood cell ability, like the ability to make white blood cells functioning at 25%.
Moving on to the second dose. Again, we know that Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines don't require mixing with saline. Again, she glosses over harmful ingredients without actually listing them. And apparently, this one reduces the ability to make white blood cell by additional 25%. Also note that there are no change in vaccine ingredients between first shot, second shot, and the booster. It is the same bloody vaccine. Now, I understand who these videos are aimed at, but for the rest of us, it is just nonsense. I will be extra pedantic and laugh at her math as well, because it is funny. Suppose I have £100 in my wallet. My ex-wife takes 50% of it the first day and takes 25% the next day. So, how much money do I have left in my wallet? In all seriousness, my 12-year-old daughter would be able to answer it correctly. And newsflash, it is not 25 pounds. The correct answer is 37 pounds 50 pence. Please tell me that I don't need to explain it. Have I commented on this natural doctor's intelligence yet?
So you just wiped out 75% of your military and the ability to make that military. Then what they do is they set in the booster. The booster has 81 strands of foreign bacteria that your cells have never come across. So you don't have the antibodies to fight it, but you only have 25% of your white blood cell production to be able to fight it. So it's a losing battle. So then what starts to happen is you start to get chronic inflammation that goes to the areas that you had predisposition. So if you are someone that has gut health issues, that's your area that it's going to focus on, and you're going to have inflammation in the gut health. If it's respiratory, if you have tumor or cancer, or if you have, say, endometriosis, or you have a skin condition, whatever that is, it's going to inflame that area, because now the body has hit the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight, and the body is in a chronic inflammatory state with a low immunity and a low immune response.
The booster has 81 strands of foreign bacteria. Bloody hell. The amount of stupidity in this woman. The Pfizer vaccine and Moderna vaccine do not contain bacteria or viral particles. The AstraZeneca vaccine does not contain bacteria, but it does use a weakened version of a common cold virus from chimpanzees, which have been modified so that it cannot replicate or cause disease. Contamination such as bacteria is rigorously tested for as part of quality control. And if such contamination was a case, you would expect to see infections in vaccines. This hasn't happened.
Then you get your second booster. What the second booster has is it has 8 strands of HIV. And now what that does is it completely shuts off your ability to make white blood cells. And if you Google what that disease is, it is HIV.
Second booster has 8 strands of HIV. Again, bloody hell, the amount of stupidity in this woman. It is not clear where this claim originated from. In December 2020, there was a news story about a cancelled COVID-19 vaccine trial in Australia. The trial vaccine contained a small component derived from HIV. This was not able to cause HIV infection, but did cause an antibody response, meaning that some trial participants had false positive HIV test results. This vaccine trial was terminated. Just to clarify once again, none of the vaccines contain bacteria, viral particles, or HIV virus. And once again, we have a list of all the ingredients.
So now we have people that are walking around with no immune system, no ability to make an immune system, 81 strands of foreign bacteria, and then also 8 strands of foreign HIV, along with all the other harmful ingredients, and then they remove all the saline from the first and second booster.
So basically recapping, she makes claim about harmful ingredients, makes false claim about white blood cell regeneration, lies about ingredients in boosters, which is the same as first and second shot vaccine, and even throws in HIV virus. So far, she's batting a total of 0.
Now, to make matters worse, during this process, 20 to 30% of the population is going to die every single series of this process. There's 4 series.
Now, I'm not sure if she's suggesting that 20 to 30% of the population is going to die after the vaccine shots or after the booster. The data so far does not support this claim either. Up to 14th of October 2021, over 49 million people in the UK have received their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, and more than 45 million have received a second. So we should have over 9 million deaths just in UK from second shot according to this claim. Now MHRA has this yellow card scheme that allows anyone, and I mean anyone, to submit a report. There is no check, and I can flood that system with bad data if I wanted to. Anyway, in the latest data, which covers the period up to 6th of October, it has received reports of 72 fatalities related to blood clots and low platelets, which have happened after vaccination with AstraZeneca vaccine. There have been 1,719 yellow card reports in which there has been a death shortly after vaccination. So not exactly 9 million, is it? The MHRA says that many of these events occur by chance due to the large number of people vaccinated and are not necessarily all a result of the vaccine. They also added, initial data made available to the JCVI indicates that booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines are generally well tolerated and provide a substantial increase in vaccine-induced immune responses.
They have 3 more boosters that are coming out, and the reason why is because once they make you so that your immune system can't make white blood cells anymore, you become dependent on the boosters to survive, just like someone becomes dependent on insulin. Big Pharma is looking for people that either die off to protect our population control, and then those that don't die off, we will have reoccurring customers for life with the boosters so that they will be able to maintain income and collect the money back from all the funding that they put in to make these vaccines in the first place.
I don't understand the logic. Why would the big pharma be interested in population control? And if they're looking for the recurring payment, isn't it in their best interest to keep everyone alive and to continue paying? It almost feels like that this woman is trying to explain without rhyme or reason to fit her narrative.
So, hope that was helpful. I hope that you listen to this properly, and I hope that you take the time to do your own critical thinking and just give it 2 to 3 years.
Self-plug. Check out my previous videos on how we will not be dying from the vaccine. Links would be in description as well.
Every single animal that participated in this study for any of these vaccines had a 100% death rate.
Finally, some real fact. Funnily enough, she is correct on this, but not for the reason she is alluding to. In the case of COVID-19 vaccines, data already existed to indicate the vaccines were safe, which enabled researchers to run animal trials alongside the early stages of human trials. Had the animals died during this process, the human trials would have been immediately halted. The fact that they are not indicates the animals did not die unexpectedly. Chris Maggie, head of policy and media at UK non-profit Understanding Animal Research (UAR), explained that the animals used in drug trials are usually euthanized so scientists can examine their internal organs for signs of pathology. So yes, probably 100% of the animals would be dead because we would be killing them to examine their internal organs. In addition, a Pfizer spokesperson has previously denied these claims to Reuters. They highlighted a September 2020 press release about the effects of their mRNA vaccine in mice and non-human primates, and a February 2021 paper on its vaccines in primates. AstraZeneca has published similar papers regarding its research in mice and non-human primates. Moderna has also released information about its animal trials.
And I encourage you all to just take a moment, look around you, and just wait it out.
So please stop listening to these scaremongering videos and do not take them seriously. With some quick research, and what is that she said? Oh yes, critical thinking. You'd be seeing holes in their propaganda, not to mention obvious lies. I honestly don't know what their end goal is. Maybe they're just dense or evil? Vaccine saves life. I have a bunch of videos in my channel debunking other bullshit you might hear from anti-vaxxers, and I would urge you to check those out. Vaccines are preventing deaths and also appears to be protecting people from overall infection. Just get vaccinated. Well, that's all for this video. Drop a like if you're vaccinated, and please share it around So hopefully we can convince others to take the vaccine as well. If you want to be super awesome, please consider subscribing and so on. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated and helps with YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. Wherever you are, have a safe day. Signing off.
We are one people.